we go, day 5 of the diorama build. I'd say I'd call it done. Worked on it as much as I could. I forgot that one of my main flaws is that I always try to get it perfect, and I eventually just end up destroying it. And I feel like that's what I started doing with this one, especially after that last paint job with the spray paint. I feel like I did too much on it. When I walked into the room where it was at today and saw it at a glance, I didn't like it right away. So I'm over it. I did a little bit of detail to it, made it look as best as I thought I could, and time to just move on from this project. So we'll start with the base. I ended up putting that brick in there for the spacer, and that's that part right there. That's the bottom of the doorway. It's pretty much just staying in place. However, it is not adhered in there at all. I think I painted it and then put it in there, so maybe the paint was still a little wet and it's sticking in there, or maybe just because it was cut to kind of the right size. These right here are not glued in yet, but they will be, so just to stay in there. I ended up hitting a little bit of red, as you can tell, kind of through here, just a little bit, just kind of differentiate the sidewalk from the street, because I still never really figured out what to do to just like make it look different. I know like in real life those are probably different colors. This is probably a silver ish or gray. This is probably straight up gray, whereas this would be, I don't know, more of a tan, I guess, when you think of like how sidewalks look, but I didn't even think of that. So now, as you can see with the hole here, the manhole, I never figured out what to do with it. So I kind of got the idea it would be pretty cool to keep it open. If you did something like off to the side, like if you're taking photos of it, I guess I should say, and you had it like this, to where it's off of the edge, you could put like a Ninja Turtle coming up or something like that, or, you know, alien, I don't know, whatever you want coming out of that thing, and maybe crawling up. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. So I just ended up cutting a hole out all together, and just hit it with the gray spray paint, did a little once over. Now again, that's eating away at this as well, which is pissing me off. And then these parts right here that I painted the other day, they stood out completely. So I just hit it with the gray again. And like I said, again, it's destroying everything. Same thing with the more red that I put in it, you can see it eating away. But, you know, what can we do? Oh, and the other thing, I ended up putting that in there. I painted it brown a little bit. And you'll see, it'll go together, you'll see. Here's the top. It's still being glued right here. I hit it with a heavy dose of Mod Podge and just a glue stick. And that'll pretty much just take overnight to glue. But I ended up doing boards across here, which will give the effect, hopefully, of like a 2x4s. I kind of get the idea that it would be pretty cool if I ended up doing like a zombies trying to break through type of thing. So, you know, Night of the Living Dead, putting boards up against the windows, shit like that. And then this is just that backboard for the window itself. Now with it all together, that's what it looks like. I ended up doing, well, first I got the sign on there completely. That just glued overnight and dried overnight. That's kind of what the door is looking like with the wood over there in front of that thing. And then as you can see, this is the bottom part right here. And that's kind of where the door frame or whatever is coming through on the bottom there. And then it kind of matches up with the whole surrounding of it. So I think it goes together pretty nicely. And then as you can see, the back part, since it's so heavy, this window thing already fell off, and it just kept that there. I don't know, maybe I'll keep that off. I don't know, I might just hit it with some glue. I'm gonna give it a minute to think about it and just keep it off, and then if I want it on there, probably just go get some super glue or something. But the other thing that I did, and I put some wires, these are just wires from just like a plug for a computer, and I just poked some holes with a safety pin, and then just stuck those in there and cut them to random lengths. So it's almost like this was the wiring for the sign, and then it broke out when it was damaged there from whatever the fuck. So that's it, that's done. So like I said, I'm done. I'm so sick of this, of working on this one. I'm excited for other ideas, to just to move on. Probably just end up talking about some toys or something for a few days before I start another project. But it gets daunting, just working on it. And if you don't get excited about it, then what's the point of doing it? And that's kind of why I wanted to stop it right here. Otherwise, I'd turn it into a lot more. But it was supposed to be a quick one, and I guess that's what it ended up being. It's not too bad. Started out with some newer stuff, the sign, different colors. The window was the first thing I ever did, something like that. The wiring in a street and sidewalk is also the first time I ever did something like that. So, it's a learning experience. Learn some more on the painting apps and what to do, what not to do. So we take these things that we learned and move on from them.